Welcome to Conversations with a Wounded Healer. I'm your host, Sarah Bueno. I'm a psychotherapist, teacher, consultant, and most importantly, a wounded healer living and working in Chicago, Illinois. On this show, I interview folks in a variety of healing professions, and we discuss the intersectional journey of healing self while caring for others. We're not just focused on individual healing, but also healing on the collective level from white supremacy, late-stage capitalism, and the patriarchy. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to 2023 Conversations with a Wounded Healer listeners. I'm feeling very optimistic today. I'm recording this on the 2nd of January and it's like 40 degrees outside. It feels tolerable to be alive, even though the sun goes down early. I'm happy to be in 2023. One of the reasons that I'm very happy is I've stepped down from my duties as president of Head Heart Therapy, and I am launching a new business called Head Heart Business Therapy. Yes, I'm stealing the cred from Head Heart because I started it, so I'm keeping the branding with me. So Head Heart Business Therapy is now going to be where the podcast is hosted, and it's my new brand. And my deal is, it's been for a while all about helping therapists, but now I have a new business that is solely dedicated to helping therapists. So my hope is to work with individual therapists, whether that be group practice owners or people who want supervision or consultation, and also working with larger healthcare and mental health organizations. I really realize that I want to help therapists heal. And I think we can do that individually, yes, but I think it also needs to happen at a more collective level. So I think if we work with organizations to try to create more healthy organizations that are not only supportive of the staff, but that then trickles down to the clients and the patients that people see. I don't know. That just kind of feels like where I am supposed to be now. So my dear friend Rael Grayson has now taken full control of Head Heart Therapy. That's still going on. It's still doing its thing. So you can still find it at Head Heart Therapy wherever it is that you want to find it. But Head Heart Business Therapy is my new jam, y'all. So welcome. So I let you know at the end of December that in January, we're really taking mostly a break. You know, the transition from Head Heart Therapy to Head Heart Business Therapy has been really emotional. It's been 9 years that I had started that practice 9 years ago. And my parents died that year that I opened the practice. So there's just been a lot of grief about the transition, and I just needed a little bit of space. So sorry that we don't have amazing guests, but I promise there is some cool shit coming up for 2023. So you can get excited about that. But as we do every year, I think I've done this every year. I don't know. I probably have. You might hear me opening up my card deck right now. I'm doing this live for y'all because not that I didn't want to plan ahead, but I just kind of thought it'd be more fun. I'm going to pull some cards for what is in store for the podcast for 2023. Do you hear the shuffle? That's such a satisfying sound, isn't it? I'm just going to shuffle a couple times while our editors get annoyed because they don't want to hear these sounds, but a little ASMR. It entertains me, right? And so I can only assume that someone else out there must be entertained. Okay, so now to get serious. What does the tarot want to tell me about the podcast Conversations with a Wounded Healer for 2023? Oh, it's such a satisfying sound. Okay. And we have... Uh-oh. Well, that backfired on me. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords, which is interesting, and maybe it has to do with the grief that I was just talking about. So if you are a tarot person, you probably already know what the Three of Swords is. Visually, it is usually a heart with three swords stabbing through it, which does not bode well generally. but maybe this actually has a lot to do with what I'm experiencing right now in the moment. So I'm going to pull another card after this. But so let me read to you what Three of Swords says. Oh, I wanted to tell you the deck that I'm using because it's beautiful and it's my favorite deck. If anybody wants to go purchase one, it's by Threads of Fate and it's the Weaver Tarot, the Journeyer edition. And if you're listening to this in January, I'm pretty sure they're still on sale right now. We'll put a link in the show notes. Okay. So the Three of Swords, let's see what we get out of this. The Three of Swords is a signifier of heartbreak, betrayal, and grief. This card serves as an acknowledgement that you are in or close to an ebb. Things feel hard and maybe even harder than hard. But despite this place you may find yourself in, it's important to understand that this is simply a part of life. We need the contrast, the paradox of experience in order to live fully. We have to touch all parts of ourselves, and we need to experience both joy and sharp pangs of heartache to do so. While this card may not feel comforting, allow it to settle into your heart and feel fully. Do not try to wash over the hurt with ego or engage in band-aiding behavior. Okay, Tarot. Okay. I really trust this deck because it usually gives me the right thing. So, okay, that's where I am right now. Okay, let's talk about the podcast as a whole for the year of 2023, not just right now. What is coming forth through the rest of the year for Conversations with a Wounded Healer? And if I get 10 of Swords, y'all, I'm just going to call it a day. Okay, Five of Coins. I think this one... So this one is generally, the art that I have here is a little bit different than the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So right here, it has a picture of hands essentially letting go of a bunch of beautiful coins and crystals and all sorts of things. So let's see. I can't remember off the top of my head what this Five of Coins is. Oh my God. Okay, this is not the best of news, but there's got to be something good out of it. Okay, this is the Five of Coins. Down on your luck, loss, and limitation. It is impossible to prevent the ebb and flow of life, and the Five of Coins indicates an ebb. So we have an ebb. Okay, we're ebbing this year. While we can hope we will always feel secure and stable, the reality is that most of us will hit some bumps in the road. This could come as an unexpected bill or lost job or total life upheaval. No matter what the scale of the loss is, right now is a time for you to reflect and assess your actual needs. Your strength and resilience are needed, but so is your courage. You may be wanting help, but are afraid to ask. It is important to do so. Sometimes people struggle to make change because they use the same type of thinking that backed them into a corner. In order to shift and progress, you must change your mindset. What are some things you have never tried or considered before? Be curious about the possibilities. Okay, so the tarot tells us that we are going to be in an ebb this year, and I'm just going to assume that that has something to do with probably making, oh, that's still satisfying sound. I'm going to guess that has something to do with making room for something else that wants to spring forth. And I'll tell you right here, I do not have any plans on discontinuing the podcast. That's not at all what will happen. So an ebb, I'm going to say, is probably an energetic shift that I probably am not completely tuned into yet. So we're going to see where that takes us. Okay, I'm going to do one more card pull because I'm mad at my tarot for being a little negative. It's okay, though. I mean, it's not negative. It's just new information. So I'm pulling now from Astral Realms Crystal Oracle, Dark Moon Crystals, and Prism and Fleur Design Studio. And these are gorgeous little oracle cards. Okay. So none of these are going to be bad. I know it. I'll just pull one for what support. How about this? Since we're going to be in an ebb this year, what support does the podcast Conversations with a Wounded Healer need for the year of 2023? Okay. Intuition. Okay. So this is a beautiful card that has its intuition. The stone is aquamarine, and it is the water element, which I am a very airy person. So let's see. What does this have to say here? Fluidity, instinct, openness. Intuition is your own built-in guiding light, an instinctive knowing of right and wrong, good versus evil, and what is progressive for your soul or what may hinder or block it. Your intuition is always with you, but you must learn how to listen to it and trust it. Despite any situation you may find yourself in, like the ebb, apparently that's happening this year, within your control or not, there's a version of yourself that you can turn to find insight. This instinctive guidance should be one of the most trustworthy places you take advice from. After all, who is more inclined to look after you than yourself? When it comes to your intuition, it is helpful to keep the mentality of remaining fluid like the water element. This mindset allows you to be in touch with your heart and how you feel, your emotional self. Using these two key components can help you access your intuitive gifts, leading you in the direction you're meant to go to find the answers to questions you've been longing and searching for. Aquamarine is attuned to the water element and connects you to your higher self, allowing you to leave your fears and doubts behind. Aquamarine has gentle, free-flowing vibrations that can open and activate your heart and throat chakras, removing any blockages and allowing energy to remain fluid through all centers of your body. When your energetic frequencies are aligned, you're able to more clearly communicate and understand messages passed down from your higher self and decipher signals and signs from the universe. Boop. Okay, so I'm going to guess that whatever ebb is happening this year, whatever grief, whatever loss, that it is going to be supported by my intuition, or rather, I guess my intuition will support knowing what we need to do when we move through the ebbs and the grief and the loss. So there you have it, folks. That is what is in store for 2023. So now I'm curious what is going to happen. And I have to remind myself to come back to this at the beginning of 2024 and review and see what was up. So thank you all for being here. And I am excited to share with you some of my upcoming groups. We'll put the promos to that right after this. And I will see you with a guest in February. I'm really excited to share a new offering with you all. Wounded Healers as Leaders is a support and working collective for group therapy practice owners who want to lead from the heart while building a thriving ethical business and step into conscious leadership with courage. Running a group practice is challenging both practically and emotionally. There's absolutely no way to know everything about running a therapy practice. And even though you may be a solo boss, to run a practice, do it well, and maintain your mental health is nearly impossible to do alone. Meetings will be held twice a month, with one meeting dedicated to the logistics of running a practice, while the second monthly meeting will be structured as a support group for the emotional components of carrying a business on your shoulders. This group might be for you if you're a group therapy practice owner with 1 to 5 years experience and less than 15 employees. For more details and to register, visit tinyurl.com/woundedhealerleaders. That's tinyurl.com/woundedhealerleaders. While Wounded Healers as Leaders is focused on group practice owners, Wounded Healer virtual groups are for individual mental health practitioners. I'll be offering our third round of Wounded Healer virtual groups starting February 2023. In our lifetime, it's never been more challenging to be a mental health professional. And as Wounded Healers, we are called to attend to our own recovery and transformation in order to support the healing of others. Just listen to what past participants have shared about what made this group special to them. The community, the individual members, and the group as a whole, the dedicated, intentional time to come together and connect in an authentic way. The group sharing and the chakra teachings, Sarah's humor and support. Feeling less alone in some of the professional struggles I'm feeling. The community aspect. It's great to be with others in the industry and receive their feedback and support. Wounded Healers virtual groups will meet for 8 weeks, Monday evenings on Zoom starting February 6, 2023. For pricing and information and to register, visit www.tinyurl.com/woundedhealersvg-3. That's tinyurl.com/woundedhealersvg-3. So thanks as always to Andrea Klunder and the Creative Imposter Studios for editing, to Liam O'Donnell for our album art, and to Ben Mueller for our theme music. To find the podcast now, you can go to www.headheartbiztherapy.com.